Once in a while, we all get the feeling that we just want to go out there and smash the AI. We just want to score lots of goals, have lots of fun. Yes, and today you've asked me to share with you a tactical system that I've been using on my Destiny live streams, where I go around smashing teams with an XG of nearly 4. We score an average of 5 goals a game. Yes, 5 goals a game. We're scoring so many goals that we have got an obscene GD going on, and we're having lots of fun. And this tactic uses some of my favorite roles in the game: the fullback, the winger, and the roaming playmaker. Smiths, baby. Boom. Comes in, and then, wow, that's why we have fullbacks on attack. What fine work! Yeah! With 10 men. Santi does well. Santi at the Dragon, and Mahon is in. Boom! 5. I just don't want to use any back 5 systems with wingbacks at the moment because they're easy to torment. It's relatively simple to destroy back 5 systems at the moment. And the back 4 systems, they can transition into a 1-3-1-5 or even a 1-3-6. And because of that, the fullback becomes one of the best roles in the game. When he goes down the flanks, this is one role that is very intelligent. He doesn't just dribble down the flanks. If he sees traffic in front of him, he passes the ball inside, and then he works himself into a position where he can receive the pass and then be a threat down the flanks. This gives you a chance to overload defensive sides with lots of players in the box if you set up your tactic correctly, and that's what I've done with Joey Go Smash. I'm looking for partnerships to develop between the fullback and the winger, but here, interestingly enough, this is a tactical system that relies on only one player in midfield, the roaming playmaker. Whenever somebody comes on my stream, they go, "Why are you only using one midfielder? Isn't it crazy?" And I go, "Why not?" Because we've got 4 players in the opposition third putting pressure on their defense, making it really hard for them to build out play. Then we've got a fullback who won't take too many risks down the flank. This encourages a role like the roaming playmaker that roams to shift to the side of the build out, and he will support that fullback. So whenever the fullback runs into trouble, he plays the pass back to the roaming playmaker, and the roaming playmaker knows there's a winger not far away and there's also a player in front of him. So he's got plenty of options to pass the ball. That roaming playmaker becomes very important in this tactical system. In fact, the most important roles in this tactical system will be the roaming playmaker and the libero, because between the two of them, they will be a creative force right in the center of the park. This allows us to control games and create chances in the final third. And this is where things get even more interesting. Because we've got a libero and a roaming playmaker in the center, I like to play on the minimum width possible. Now, width is a very interesting team instruction. It just doesn't mean that all your players are going to be, spread out or standing together. It also encourages players to look for passes in that zone. So if you're playing very narrow, your players are going to look inside for the first pass, what we like to call wall passes. Now, if you're playing very wide, chances are the fullbacks become the focal point of attention and they'll be trying to work their way down the flanks. I don't want that. I want them to use the libero and the roaming playmaker to transition up the pitch. And by playing on the narrowest width possible, I'm encouraging more central balls. I don't even need to use the focus play through the middle team instruction. All I get, 1/3 of all my assists are through balls. Yes, they're all coming from the middle, and the roaming playmaker and the libero are central to every fantastic goal-scoring chance I've created in the game of Football Manager. One of the reasons why I don't do too many tactic videos anymore is because people want to take their tactic and use it with every single team. The problem is, tactics are dependent on the players, and the creator who makes those tactics has a particular vision in mind. In my case, I know that the 2 most important players are my roaming playmaker and my libero, so they both have to be equally good at using the ball. Then, I also know that up top, in the 2 shadow striker positions, I want to win the ball back. I want to keep putting pressure on the opposition. I want to put them under so much pressure that they force mistakes. And to do that, you need players with high aggression. Across the attack, I have players with a minimum of 12 for aggression. And whenever I find a player with 19 for aggression, I don't hesitate to add him to my squad. In fact, one of my best players happens to be retiring very soon, and I don't think I'll be able to replace him because he's been absolutely sensational as a shadow striker, fighting to win any lost cause, and also being on the end of lots of goal scoring chances. He never gives up, and this is the quality that you need in a tactical system like that. So if you're an underdog side and you don't have good players and you use this tactic and you discover that you're getting hammered down the flanks, which I expect to see, then yes, you should have gotten yourself better players. This is not for the faint-hearted. You need a good team. Furthermore, because we are building out and only having one defender back defending, this tactic might be vulnerable against the 4-2-4. So for those of you who are going to use it in a network play, trust me, people who play network play games, they kind of know what they're doing most of the time, and they'll be recruiting players into their team that give them the option to go and attack wide when they need to. And whenever you face those kind of teams coming down your flanks, that lone defender is always going to be outnumbered. So this tactical system demands that you put so much pressure on teams that they don't have a way out. That is why I have such a high XG and the reason why I'm scoring lots of goals. AI managers in the game of Football Manager, they like to use the inverted fullback or the inverted wingback nowadays. You often find some tactics having an inverted fullback or even an inverted fullback and an inverted wingback. Now, whenever I come across teams playing like this, then I have a strategy in mind. And this is something that you might need to consider whenever you're playing the game of Football Manager. The thing is, whenever there's an inverted wingback on the pitch, he's going to have a lot of work to do. He's going to defend the central areas during a counter press, and he's also got to go and drop back into the fullback position whenever they don't have possession of the ball. So this means that he is going to cover a lot of ground. And this is one of the reasons why I like to use wingers against them. Wingers who like to play on their natural flanks. This will stretch the flank, allowing you to tire them out. And this is where our tactic comes into play. We're using fullbacks who are going to cut inside and attack the central areas. And we also want to use fullbacks who are playing on the flank opposite their preferred foot. So what we've done is we've gone out there and created ourselves a false fullback. He's going to be very much like an inverted wingback. He's going to cut into the central areas of the half spaces while the wingers are stretching that defense. This creates a nightmare for the inverted wingback, forces other players back, or even encourages the central defenders to step out. This creates lots of holes in the defense, and we are able to penetrate with overwhelming force. However, when we are faced with a back five with three central defenders, you want to attack the central defenders. You want to encourage them to come out. You also want to put lots of pressure on those zones. In order for us to do that, we'll be using wingers again, but now we're putting them on the flank opposite their preferred foot. This would mean that those wingers are going to come in. The fullbacks are also coming in, so everybody's like driving a wedge through the center. This forces the wingbacks to also retract. We put lots of pressure on those kind of teams, so every time the fullback attacks that zone, the winger might be free to run behind, and this creates a lot of problems with back five systems too. In terms of play instructions, it's not too complicated. We got fullback, we cut inside with the ball, shoot less often, sit narrow, is replicated on the other side. The libero doesn't do anything. The ball playing defender is no PI, same here. In front, we don't have anything for the two shadow strikers. The wingers have tackle harder, mark tighter, tackle harder, mark tighter. The advanced word is no play instructions. I'm not a big fan of putting too many. In terms of opposition instructions, we want to do this for all our games. We want to put trigger press on the entire backline of the opposition and hard tackling on the entire backline. The reason is simple. We just want to put so much pressure on the backline that every time they make a mistake, we're there and we've already got the players ready to score goals. They'll just take advantage of the situation and go on to score plenty of goals. One of the great things about this tactical system is the insane number of clear-cut chances it's creating. I mean, we play 50 games. Look at the numbers here. 114 clear-cut chances. We create one chance every 31 minutes with an XG of almost 3 per game, 5 goals per match. We're just ripping into teams, and 1/3 of all our chances come as through balls through the middle. It's really important to understand this isn't going to be possible if you don't have the right kind of players. So the roaming playmaker is really, really important. So you're looking at physical attributes of about 14 at least. And then you're looking at mental attributes of 13 to 14 as well. Aggression is going to be important for him. Aggression is frankly the most important attribute for me in the whole game. Next to determination for development, but aggression for on-field performances. Why? These guys are going to fight for every single ball. right? If they lose the ball, counter pressing, you need aggression because those guys have to go back in and try and win the ball back. So we've got shadow strikers with high aggression. I've got one shadow striker with aggression and passing, and he's a really creative force. Up top, we also have wingers that can play on both flanks. On top of that, I've got wingers that need to be able to dribble and cross. We need wingers who can cut inside and look for the pass too, because they are also the players that get lots of assists. Roaming playmaker gets assists. The wingers get assists. Yes, plenty of players are looking to create chances, and that's why we've got the underlap instruction as well in this tactical system. The winger, the widest player, is always going to hold up the ball. This is important to remember. It is the widest player. It doesn't mean it's always going to be the fullback or the winger. Whoever is the widest player holds up the ball in the final third looking for inside runs. And we have plenty of inside runs in this tactic with the roaming playmaker, we got the libero, we got the shadow striker. Yes, the winger holds up the ball, then the fullback comes in. So plenty of chances for us to attack through the middle. And if you find yourself playing against a system that is using the inverted wing back, swap the wingers to their preferred flanks, right on right, and then they will go wide and then stretch those inverted wing backs and tear defensive teams apart. I've been having lots of fun with this tactical system. Yes, you need players, but come on, I mean, really, honestly, we played a game of Football Manager. I don't know about you, but I like to go smash some teams once in a while, score like 5 or 6 goals, have a good day when I've had on the computer, when I've had a bad day elsewhere. That's the game for me, right? And this is a tactical system you've wanted me to share with you because you've been watching me play it on the stream and you were asking about the little nuances in the tactical system. And I hope that today's video helped you out. Once again, if you have any questions, I'm streaming on Twitch Mondays to Thursdays for now. And you can pop in anytime. We also do Bring Your Tactics during the stream where I'll take a look at your tactics and sometimes play with them or offer, whether my advice is worth anything or not. Yeah, I'll share with you too. And if you found today's video useful, hey, drop by and say hi anyway. I look forward to hearing from you. Meanwhile, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. This is all. We're 2-0 down in the first half. Yeah, we were 2-0 down. We made one change, and guess what? We score 5 goals a game, guys. That's it.